What is up, guys? It is your favorite Otaku Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, I'm bringing you some pretty useful information, or at least I think it's useful information, on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, I know a lot of things, or one of the things that a lot of people really want to know about are stats and attribute points. What's the best build for a character? You know, who's better at what? Which characters hit the hardest? Who has the best Ki Blast supers and things like that? And if you want more detailed statistics and stats on, you know, where the characters rank in terms of who has the most health, who has the best strike supers, Ki Blast supers, and melee attacks, I'll leave a link in the description down below where Phantom Elisa, I'm sure some of you guys know who Phantom is, he's one of the best players in Xenoverse. Phantom Elisa has actually done a breakdown on where all the characters stand in comparison to one another in terms of who naturally has the best stats in the rankings. So yeah, I trust his information, I trust his word, I checked his source, everything seems legit to me, he seems to have done his homework. The rankings have changed from Xenoverse 1, so if you think you don't need to check it out because you already saw DBZ Sin's video back for Xenoverse 1, check out Phantom Elisa's video in the description down below because the rankings have changed. Now today I have my own custom Frieza race character here named Polaris. Now this is the third character that I've leveled up to level 80. What's interesting about Polaris is the fact that if we go to boost attributes right here, you guys can see that I've saved up all of his attribute points and we don't have any stats in anything at all. So I thought that today I would kind of give you guys the ultimate guide to stats and attributes here on Xenoverse 2 and teach you guys more because I wanted to learn more about it myself, but the information that I found online was far and few between. So I did a lot of research, I did some testing myself, and there will be some math involved in this video, but don't worry, I'll be doing it all myself. I won't put you guys through that torture. But yeah, hopefully you guys will find this guide and this information useful, and I'll teach you guys something here today. So yeah, like I said, this is Polaris, my Frieza race character, and one of the things that I want to point out is that every character naturally, without stats or anything involved, clothing, QQ banks, anything like that, every character naturally has the same amount of Ki and stamina. Every character, no matter what race or build or whatever it is, without any extra QQ bangs or clothing or anything like that, at level 80 they will have 5 bars of Ki and 5 bars of stamina, no matter what. Of course, that can change depending on, you know, the equipment you put on and the stats you put in, but without any stats, without any equipment, every character will have 5 bars of Ki and 5 bars of stamina at level 80. Now, if you want to get more Ki and stamina, it takes 42 points, yes, 42 points in any particular stat between Ki and stamina to get an extra bar. So with 42 points at level 80, you will have 6 bars of Ki. If you put in 84 points at level 80, you will have 7 bars of Ki, and if you go all the way to 125, which you can only do if you've done the Guru missions and gotten your potential unlocked so that you can surpass the 100 attribute cap, if you go all the way to 125, you will have 8 bars of Ki, and that same math goes for stamina. So 125 bars in 125 points into Ki will give you 8 bars of Ki. 125 points into stamina will give you 8 bars of stamina. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, do QQ bangs or equipment affect the stats past 125? So let's say, for example, if I have 125 points into Ki and I have a QQ bang that gives me +5, or I'm wearing equipment that gives me, you know, +5 for a total of +20 because you have 4 different equipment slots, can I surpass the limit? And the answer is yes. If you have 125 points into Ki and you're wearing, okay, better example, because this is easier for both of us. If I have 125 points into stamina and I have my character decked out in full Bardock armor, instead of having 8 bars of Ki, or stamina rather, excuse me, I'll have 10 bars of stamina. Yes, and same goes for, you know, likewise if you have a negative effect on it, it'll affect that. So yes, 125 points will give you 8 bars of stamina or 8 bars of Ki, but if you're wearing equipment that boosts that, you can go even beyond that. This is to go even further beyond. So yeah, hopefully you're still with me. Hopefully I'm not getting too confusing yet because we're only barely scratching the surface. When it comes to health, I hate to say it, I hate to admit it, but I don't exactly know how to calculate health. That's something that you kind of have to test out and figure out on your own. For whatever reason, maybe it's something that you can only do on PC. In the training mode, like you can't see like the amount of health points, or at least I don't know how to do it, so I have no idea, you know, how many points equals this much health. But from my understanding, I believe that putting 125 points into health gives you a 15% increase to your overall health. Now, I can't really attest to that. I don't know all the math behind that. That's just a stat that I found online. So take it with a grain of salt. I can't vouch for it because I don't know how to test that out myself. So yeah, QQ bangs can affect it. 125 points will give you 8 bars, whether it's Ki or stamina. It's 42 points per bar. So that's some pretty useful information that I think a lot of people wanted to know. So I definitely had to put that out there. Next thing that I want to get into is this character is actually putting points into my character and demonstrating the increases you get into Ki Blast supers and basic attack, because that's what I'm going to be revolving my character Polaris around. I just want to show you guys real quick that even though I have some equipment on my character, I have a 0 stat QQ Bang equipped, so don't worry about, you know, any equipment or anything at all affecting my character's stats at the moment. It's all 0. There's nothing extra being added or anything being taken away. He's completely at balanced 0 stats at level 80. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the training mode, just so I can give you guys a demonstration of what his square combo does without any stats, what his triangle combo does without any stats, and what his Ki Blast supers do without having any stats. And then we'll check it after we add 125 into basic attack and 125 into Ki Blast supers. So we're just going to pick World Trunks, future Trunks in the World Tournament stage real quick. We're just going to jump into the training mode so we can crunch some of these numbers. And like I said, this is the part where it'll probably get a little bit confusing, but hopefully I'll have somewhat of a guide on screen to help you guys along. And like I said, I'll be the one doing all the math. So as long as you know the end result, you should be okay. So we're going to start off by doing the basic square combo. I'm just going to lock on and we'll see how much the full square combo does to Trunks. Alright, so as you can see, we completed the full square combo for the Frieza Race character, and the max combo damage was, or rather just the combo damage was 2,349, and I'm just going to jot that down for me because I haven't done all this math yet, so some of it I'll be doing live and you guys will be learning along with me. So 2,349 for the square combo, and that is before adding any stats. And then next we're just going to do the triangle combo. Alright. And the combo damage for the full triangle combo is 2,759. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is test out his Ki Blast supers real quick. We're just going to hit restart real quick. Gonna lock on, and we're just going to try Super Kamehameha. No particular reason as to why, it's just one of the supers that I already have, or rather ultimates I should say, that I already have equipped. But actually, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I've been saying supers, but what I meant was ultimates, but we might as well go ahead and check out supers and ultimates. So I guess for, yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and use the Burst Kamehameha since that's the super that I have equipped. And that does 1,263 without adding the extra burst. So I'm just going to go ahead and jot down that number real quick, 1,263. And then next we're going to try out the Super Kamehameha for our ultimate. Just going to lock on and use the Super Kamehameha. And that does 5,838. So Super Kamehameha does 5,838. And for any of those who are wondering as to why I want to do, you know, 125 in the basic attack and 125 into Ki Blast supers, it's because if you check out the rankings, Frieza Race characters are now, I believe it's second in melee attack, so they have the second highest basic attack out of any of the created characters you can make, and they have the third highest Ki Blast supers of any character that you can create. So, and that's more my style anyway. I'm a very combo centric person. That's my style, that's how I play, that's how I fight, is I do a lot of combos. So pretty much all the characters, regardless of their rankings, I put 125 in the basic attack. And Ki Blast supers, there's only like a small handful of strike supers, and some of them aren't really that good, so I kind of tend to go with Ki Blast. So yeah, plus the fact that Frieza Race characters are leaning towards Ki Blast is just all the more reason why I'm going to be putting my points into that. So I've jotted down all the numbers, we gave you a demonstration. What we're going to do next is go to boost attributes. We're going to put 125 into basic attacks and 125 into Ki Blast supers. Just going to go ahead and click confirm. Let me just double check, make sure I'm not screwing anything up live on there. Alright, and as you can see, we'll have 82 points left over. And after I finish this testing, maybe I'll just add 41 points in the Ki and 41 points in the stamina, just to give me close to 6 bars for both of those, and that's a decent amount to have on a character. Or maybe even health, because Frieza Race characters have low health, and maybe I'll need more, but we'll figure that out later. For now, we're just worried about basic attacks and Ki Blast supers. So now that we've done that, we're going to head right back into the training mode and just repeat everything that we just did, but this time we're going to be calculating and seeing how much of a percentage increase on damage we get. Gonna select Polaris once again and just beat up on Future Trunks, which low-key breaks my heart because Future Trunks is my favorite character, him and Bardock. But yeah, it is what it is. Alright, so we're back in the World Tournament Arena. We're just going to lock straight on the Trunks, and we're going to do the full square combo first. And now the combo does 2,723 damage. So I'm just going to jot that down real quick, and then we're going to do the math for that. So 2,723. And if I bring up my calculator real quick, I'll do the math right here for you guys. So from 2,349 to 2,723, that is a 15.92% increase. So basically a 16% increase in basic attacks when you put 125 into basic attack. Now I can't say for certain if that'll be the same percentage that you get for every character. I would assume it is. You know, it'll just vary. The amount of damage will vary, but I would assume that the percentage increase would be the same. The amount of damage will be different, of course, depending on, you know, how much weight your character has, how tall they are. I forget, you know, how those work, but depending on where they stand in the rankings of which character has basic attacks is the main thing. So the damage will differ, but the percentage increase should be the same. I can't vouch for that 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. So putting 125 points into basic attacks basically gives you a 16% increase in your attacks. But we're going to do the triangle combo real quick just to confirm that and see if we get the same result. So originally the triangle combo did 2,759 damage, and now with 125 points into basic attacks it does 3,199. So let me just write this down, 3,199. And I'm gonna jump right back into my calculator and again do the math for you guys. So from 2,759 to 3,199 is a 15.94% increase. So it's ever so slightly a little bit different, but it's basically, you round it up, it's 16%, so it's the exact same. So I think it's safe to say that 125 points into basic attack gives you a 16% increase in your melee attack damage. Next thing we're going to try out is our supers. So let me just restart this real quick. And before we did the burst Kamehameha, and without adding the extra burst, it would do 1,263 damage, and now after putting 125 points into Ki Blast Supers, it is doing 1,359. And again, I'm going to pull up my calculator here on my phone, and we will calculate the percentage increase we've gotten. So from 1,263 to 1,359 is an 8.45% increase. So that's basically 8.5%, or you can round it up to 9. I'm going to say 8.5% increase in Ki Blast Supers, and if we try out Ultimates, we'll calculate the percentage increase we get from there. I'm just going to restart real quick. We'll use the Super Kamehameha, and this time we're doing 6,819 damage. Before we did 5,838, now we're doing 6,819. And if I jump into my calculator once again, and I'm sorry if this is kind of boring for you guys, but I think a lot of people will really appreciate this information, and this is stuff that I couldn't really find anywhere else, so hopefully some people will enjoy this and find it useful. So from 5,838 to 6,819 is a 16.80% increase. You could kind of round that up to 17%. So you get a 17% increase in your ultimates, your Ki Blast ultimates, from 0 to 125 points. So 125 points into your Ki Blast supers will give you an 8.5% increase in your supers and a 17% increase in your ultimates, your Ki Blast ultimates. Alright, so now we're back here in Conton. I'm just going to look at my attributes once more. As you can see, we have 125 in basic attacks, 125 in Ki Blast supers, and I have 82 points left over. And I guess just for the demonstration purposes of this video, I'll put the rest of those into Ki and Stamina. Probably going to be a decent build for a Frieza race character anyway. So yeah, I'll put 41 points into maximum Ki, which should give me just barely under an extra bar, and 41 points into max Stamina, which again should just give me just barely under a full bar. And then we'll go back into the training mode and see where I stand. If you paid attention before, every character, before any equipment or stats of any sort, will have 5 bars of Ki and 5 bars of Stamina at level 80. So when we go back in, we should have just under 6 bars of Ki and just under 6 bars of Stamina in the training mode. Or maybe the game was a little lenient and will give us the full bar, but either way, you guys should get a good idea of, you know, what's going on. So all I'm doing now is just pulling up just so we can see where my Stamina and Ki are. So yeah, as you can see, it's literally just 1 point off of having 6 full bars of Ki and 6 full bars of Stamina. Not really an issue for me. I'm not too reliant on my stamina. I was before, but ever since I learned how to actually do the Z vanishing or the step dashing or whatever you want to call it, I'm less reliant on stamina. Plus, it's kind of good for a lot of characters to have, you know, just around 6 bars of stamina. Any more than that, you'll start to become too reliant on your snap vanishing. Plus, when you get stamina broken, it'll take that much longer to get it back. So yeah, this is a perfect amount of stamina and a perfect amount of ki for me. But yeah. What I'm going to do next is we're going to switch over to my female sand nominee, and I'm going to show you guys how equipment can still affect your stats even if they're already maxed out to 125, and I'll catch you guys when I'm right back with nominee. So these are my stats for Nominee the Sand Goddess, my female sand custom created character, and as you guys can see, we have 125 points in basic attack. My basic attack stat is as high as it can possibly go, and if we see her equipment, you guys can see that I have Bardock's full battle suit on, which gives you +5 in basic attack as well as stamina and I believe health as well. But at the moment, you guys can see that I have this QQ Bang on, and of course, as you know, QQ Bangs negate any stats from clothing. So what this means is none of the clothing stats are affecting me. It's set to 0. It's null and void. So what we're gonna do now is, even though I already told you, and I would hope that you guys trust my word, I told you that QQ Bangs and clothing can affect your stats past the 125 point. But I'm just gonna give you a demonstration and show you with the QQ Bang and without the QQ Bang how those extra points in basic attack do increase my damage. So we're just gonna select Nominee, of course, and we're gonna wail on Trunks once more, and then jump into the World Tournament stage. And I'll give you guys a demonstration of once more the square combo, the triangle combo, and that's with the QQ Bang, and then we'll take it off, and you guys will see how much more damage we do with the clothing stats in effect. So we'll lock on the Trunks, and we're gonna start off with the square combo. And we actually dropped the combo. We're just gonna try that again like that didn't just happen. And the full square combo does 3,754 damage. So I'm just gonna write that down real quick. And now we move on to the triangle combo. And what I find interesting about female Sands is that their triangle combo actually does less than their square combo. But as you can see, the triangle combo does 3,425 damage. So I'm just going to write that down. And we're going to jump back to Canton City just so I can take off the QQ Bang. And then you guys will see how much damage we do when the clothing does affect our stats. Okay, so now we're just going to take the QQ Bang off. Now the clothing is affecting our stats, and you guys will see how much more damage we do now that we're getting that extra boost in our basic attack. Jump back into training mode, and you know what? I don't want to beat up on Trunks anymore. I think this time we'll beat up on Goku, just for the hell of it. Back to the World Tournament stage, and again I'll demonstrate the square combo and the triangle combo, and I won't be showing you like anything else as far as clothing effects. Hopefully this one demonstration will prove enough, and you guys will see my point when I say that, you know, clothing can affect your stats and give you a boost past 125. So now we'll just lock on and do the square combo. Hopefully he doesn't randomly fall out of it like Trunks did. And this time we're doing 3,978 damage for the square combo. So as you guys can see, our combo damage did increase. Before we were doing 3,759, and that was with the statless QQ Bang equipped, and now we are doing 3,978. And if I just run the math real quick on my calculator, from 3,759 to 3,978 is a 5.826% increase. You could just say like a 6% increase to your basic attack. And just for demonstration purposes, I'll do the triangle combo as well, and it should be roughly the exact same increase. Now we're doing 3,627 damage for the combo, and originally we were doing 3,425. So again, let me just pull out my calculator. 3,425 to 3,627 is a 5.897%. So again, roughly 6% increase. So yeah, I think that just about shows everything. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If I feel like going through the hassle of gathering the Dragon Balls once again and resetting my stats again for my Frieza Race character just so that I can show you guys how much of an increase you get in Strike Supers, I will do that, but I don't know, I'm feeling kind of lazy, so don't count on it. But hey, depending on how much longer is left in this video, you already know whether or not I decided to do that. But if I had to take an educated guess and give you guys an estimation, I would estimate that Strike Supers with 125 points put into Strike Supers will give you a roughly 16 to 19% increase. If I had to give you a number, I would say 17%. I would think it would be about the same as Ki Blast Supers. So 16-17%, definitely 16 at the lowest, 19 at the highest. That's just my rough estimation and giving on the very little information I was able to find online. Yeah, I haven't tested it out for myself, but I'm like 99% positive that is what it would be. So hopefully you guys found all this information useful. I have no idea how long this video is, but I know that it went on for quite some time. I'm sure it probably wasn't the most entertaining video, but again, this wasn't really meant to be entertaining. This was meant to be informative. I was hoping to create the ultimate guide to stats and attribute points. I feel some type of way saying that, even though I haven't done the full testing for Strike Supers and for health. But again, that's something that you could probably take my word on and figure out for yourself when it comes to health and Strike Supers. But yeah, I think I've given you guys plenty, and you don't want to hear me ramble on for any longer. So I think I'm gonna wrap the video up here. But before we do that, we just gotta throw on some stylish clothes for Nominate one time for the one time. We can't have her walk around in Bardock suit because that's just not how we roll. And this is an outfit that you guys will see in a later video. But yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Drop me a comment down below, letting me know if you found this information useful, if this guide helped you out at all. It would mean a lot to me to know that I didn't waste my time doing all this research and all this math and making this video. I had fun with it, but it would just definitely warm my heart to know that it actually helped somebody out. So yeah, drop me a comment, hit this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all this content I'm gonna bring you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today, so I will catch you guys next time. Later.